Join me in painting this image titled The Handoff. When looking at the sketch process, it's clear I might have had an idea, but I was not quite certain how to execute things. This is totally normal. At times I just need more time to sketch. Sometimes the idea can be kind of vague, so I'll try to figure out if it'll work or not. Other times, I may have multiple ideas and I just want to whittle them down into one workable idea. I may also have multiple ideas and I sketch them in unison, which helps me create a little mini-series of some sort. But that wasn't the case for this image. The sketch phase can also be used for doodling whatever comes to mind, especially if you don't have a set idea. So you really don't need an idea to start drawing. At times, you just need to start sketching and see what comes of it. They say, inspiration finds you working, which is true, even though it can be frustrating from time to time, especially if you don't feel like doodling endlessly. And I'm usually like that. I prefer having an idea, or at least a topic to work away from, rather than doodling aimlessly. Though it's something I'm working on changing, as I feel my art practice has been slipping a bit, especially in really busy periods. This image was painted at the beginning of 2024, in time for Year of the Dragon. My idea revolved around the changing of the zodiac, and as 2023 was the Year of the Rabbit, it made sense to put the two of them together, as one would hand over the new year and all the responsibilities to the other. The colours I used were also inspired by the zodiacs, as there are also elemental parts to the Chinese zodiac. So 2024 isn't just the Year of the Dragon, but it's the Year of the Wood Dragon, and 2023 was the Year of the Water Rabbit. It also meant that I chose predominantly warm colours for the dragon and cool colours for the rabbit. And yes, the rabbit is technically white with blue shadows, so the theme isn't all that noticeable. But that was also part of the plan. I didn't want the colour choices to be super visible, as a lot of people aren't aware of the elements being part of the Chinese zodiac, so I feel my colour choices are more of an Easter egg to those in the know. So does art have to have a meaning? Good question, and one which kind of has multiple answers. Artists often put meaning into the work they make because sometimes they want to express something specific, as it's the reason behind making the art in the first place. But I also think that sometimes artists create art just because they want to create something, and in those cases, the meaning might be as simple as they wanted to make something that make them or others smile, so the meaning isn't all that deep. Other times, the art is there to support text, as in the case of illustration, and at first glance, the image may seem to be quite straightforward. However, there may still be a lot of meaning baked into the illustration, or even subtle things you might not get until you've read the accompanying text. The thing is, when it comes to art, the viewer often ends up finding their own meaning, one that may or may not be unique to them, regardless of what the artist intended. But this is what's so good about art, be it books, films, poetry, music, visual arts, dance, and so on. People connect with them and find ways to make the art meaningful to them. It doesn't mean that the initial meaning the artist put into the work is lost, but that the artwork can transcend the artist's initial meaning. Also, people connect with things on different levels, be it emotionally, spiritually, or intellectually. And what's even more wonderful about art is that when you encounter a piece of art for the second, third, or fourth time, you may react to it differently and assign a completely different meaning to it. So how do you connect with artwork? Is it an emotional, intellectual, or spiritual connection? And are you looking for a specific type of connection at all? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching.